Magandang araw mga kapitek. Ako po si Sir Willie, ang inyong lead trainer para sa inyong Let Review program. Narito na naman ang isang video intended lamang para sa inyo and sana ay marami kayong matutunan at makatulong sa inyong preparasyon para kayo ay maging isang licensed professional teachers. Good luck sa inyong lahat and magandang araw. Magandang araw mga kapitek. Narito na ang isang video para sa inyong preparation for the upcoming licensure examination for teachers 2024. Ang topic natin ngayong araw will be session number 10 na po tayo, professional education mock test na number 1. And we are only going to cover several items and try to provide yung ating rationalization for each of the item. Ang ating topic ngayong session number 10 will be focused primarily on the philosophical basis of education. So let's start mga kapitek. Yung mga bago pa lang sa ating channel ay pwede nyo pong i-search ang iba pang mga videos na na-prepare na po namin para sa inyo. We are already in session number 10 and we start with question number 1. Philosophy deals with the most basic issues faced by human beings. It can be said that philosophy is the study of questions. What branch of philosophy deals with the study of questions concerning the nature of reality or existence? A. Metaphysics. B. Epistemology. C. Axiology. Or D. Theology. Correct answer for question number 1 is letter A, metaphysics. There are 3 primary branches ng ating philosophy, and that includes yung number 1 will be metaphysics, number 2 po will be epistemology, at ang number 3 ay axiology. Kung ano ang mga yan, let's dig deeper as we proceed with question number 2. The study of the nature of knowledge and how these are attained and evaluated is known as blank. A. Metaphysics. B. Epistemology. C. Axiology. Or D. Theology. Correct answer for number 2 is epistemology. This will be the second branch, and ang keyword para sa epistemology ay yung attainment of the nature of knowledge. How they came to be. May mga distinctive questions para po dito kay epistemology, and that will give you or drawing the line between what is metaphysics and what is epistemology. So kanina, the nature of knowledge, ito namang epistemology, kung paano, how these are attained and evaluated, paano nabubuo, paano na pag-aaralan, ang nature of knowledge na yan, it will be through epistemology. And we dig deeper again for these 3 branches as we go on with question number 3. The study of the question of value is known as blank. A. Metaphysics. B. Epistemology. C. Axiology. Or D. Theology. Go. Ang keyword natin dito mga kapitek ay ang the study or the question of value. Ang keyword natin na kailangan natin dito na tandaan ay ang question of value or anything related to values. Kaya nga ang sagot natin dito ay letter C, axiology. There are also distinctive layers that would further define axiology. We dig deeper later sa iba't pang mga questions. Let's proceed with question number 4. What is good or bad? What is right or wrong? These are questions related to the study of moral principles and attempts to establish rational grounds for good conduct known as blank. A. Ethics. B. Aesthetics. C. Metaphysics. Or D. Theology. For question number 4, ang keyword or words na pwede nating makita ay yung distinction between the good and the bad, or the right and the wrong. And it will be further defined gamit ang mga keywords like the study of moral principles. Okay? So, ang sagot natin dito ay ethics. Okay? So, yung keyword pa lang na narinig natin, yung what is good or bad, what is right and wrong, and the study of the moral principles will lead us to the identification na yung tamang sagot natin dito ay ethics. Ang ethics ay isa sa mga sublayers ng axiology na nabanggit natin kanina at meron pang isa yan. And makikita natin sa susunod na tanong. Question number 5. What do you call the study of the nature and value of the works of art? A. Aesthetics, B. Ethics, C. Axiology, or D. Metaphysics. Again, mga kapitek, ang ating keyword or keywords natin dito ay the nature or value of the works of art. Alright? So, ito, bentang-benta ito ngayon sa mga ano, no, yung tinatawag natin na kapag yan yung tanong, ang keywords ay ang mga nabanggit natin, ang tamang sagot ay aesthetics. So aesthetics related to the nature or the study of the nature and the value of the works of art. So keywords natin, dalawa, the nature and value of the works of art, aesthetics. So that will be the second half of yung dalawang sublayers na binabanggit natin pertaining to axiology. Question number 6. Metaphysics is the branch of philosophy that studies the ultimate reality of existence. So literally, it means those things after the physics. Which of the following is not a metaphysical subset? A. Cosmological aspect, B. Theological aspect, C. Anthropological aspect, or D. Physiological aspect. For question number 6, since binigay yung STEM na defining the meaning ng metaphysics, which is the branch of philosophy that studies the ultimate reality of existence, meron siyang mga different subsets that would define or that would encompass the different schools of thought, no, na nagbibigay ng description kung paano nga ba natin pini-perceive ang reality ng ating existence. So, isa dito sa apat na yan, cosmological, theological, anthropological, and physiological, is not one of the physical subset, and that is letter D, the physiological aspect. Kung ang ultimate reality of existence ang pinag-usapan natin pagdating kay metaphysics, ang cosmological ay isang subset na nag-explain na ang reality of our existence is based on the universal perspective that there are heavenly bodies. It's more on a scientific basis. Cosmological aspect will define or will try to explain the reality of existence in such a way that we can make use of the perspectives of uh, Albert Einstein, mga ganyan. Cosmological yung dating niya. So we talk about the study of time, we talk about the study of the space. Is space within time or time within the space? No, yung mga ganong tanong that are related to how we perceive or how we view the reality of the existence. Pag theological naman, ang theological has something to do with the divine, no, the divine creation, the divine interpretation of our reality. That there is a superpower or there are superpowers that are controlling us, that are uh, uh, ultimately be the, kumbaga siya yung bumubuo, no, ng reality ng ating existence. So siya yung nagbigay ng lahat. So in other words, is the theological has something to do with the perspective of God, the perspective of religion. Okay? Ang anthropological naman is more on the study or more on a subset that would trace the evolution of man, no? The evolution of the humanity itself. Anthropological, since anthropological yung perspective niya, it has something to do with our idea that was passed on from how our from one generation to another. Okay? Yan yung anthropological aspect. Hindi po kasama dyan ang physiological aspect. Alright? Question number 7. The following are the correct statements regarding the relationship of metaphysics and education. Example. A. Educational program of the school should be based upon fact and reality rather than fancy, illusion, or imagination. B. Varying metaphysical beliefs lead to differing educational approaches and even separate systems of education. Letter C. Views about the nature and the potential of students from the foundation of every educational process. Or letter D. The fundamental issue on education is whether reality can ever be known. Alright, so in question number 7, alin dito yung hindi nagde-define ng relationship between metaphysics and education? Our correct answer here is letter D. Okay, bakit? Kasi yung fundamental issue on education is whether that will relate to whether reality can ever even be known ay under siya ng epistemology. Ang epistemology kasi the study of the nature of reality. Alright, andun siya doon, yun yung definition ng epistemology. So basically, yung letter D na yan, although it's a positive statement, ay under na siya ng epistemology but no longer under the metaphysics. Yung una, educational program of the school should be based upon fact and reality. Definitely, the existence of reality rather than fancy, illusion, or imagination will have to be related to metaphysics. Yung varying metaphysical beliefs according to the different subsets, cosmological, anthropological, or even theological, for example, or theological perspective, will lead yung creation ng differing educational approaches and even separate systems of education. You go different universities, magkakaiba yan. You go different places, magkakaiba din. Bakit? Because they're influenced by the different metaphysical beliefs. Let's say, for example, the Catholic education. So, pag pinag-usapan na natin ang Catholic education, for example, that has something to do with directly related to the theological subset. So naniniwala sa divine, there is a superpower, there is God, the may the Holy Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Itong mga perspective na ito ay nanggaling doon sa theological subset ng ating nature of reality, which is still related to metaphysics. Views about the nature and potential of students from the foundation of every educational process, that's another subset that would be related to the metaphysics. Kaya ang tamang sagot natin dito ay letter D. Question number 8. Epistemology is the branch of philosophy concerned with the nature of the scope of knowledge and is also referred to as the theory of knowledge. If the source of the human knowledge is obtained through the senses, it is known as A. Revelation, B. Empiricism, C. Authority, or D. Rationalism. For question 8, since ang epistemology is concerned with the study of the nature of the scope of knowledge and also being referred to as the theory of knowledge, may mga iba't ibang mga sources yan. May mga iba't ibang mga sources yan. Kung ang source nito ay may kinalaman sa attainment of human knowledge via sense or our basic human sense, ang tawag natin dito ay letter B, empiricism. Okay? Kaya nga meron tayong tinatawag na empirical data, something that can be perceived, something that can be counted, something that can be seen, something that can be passed on, or something that can be sensed by our human senses. So empiricism tawag natin doon. Kaya nga meron tayong nire-refer na empirical data. Alright, that's for question number 8. The other three, revelation, authority, and rationalism, they have another example or another definition for that. Pero itong keyword or the keywords natin dito, yung obtained through the senses, will pertain to the perspective ng empiricism or empirical data. Question 9. Which of the following refers to the view that reasoning, thought, or logic is a central factor in knowledge? A. Revelation. B. Empiricism. C. Authority. Or D. Rationalism. For question number 9, ang nire-refer natin dito ay anong keywords natin? Number 1, reasoning, thought, or logic, now being the central factor in knowledge. Pag itong pinag-usapan natin, logic and reasoning, ang tamang sagot natin dito ay it's referring to the view of rationalism. Rational means reason, the art of thinking, argumentation, okay? So pag binigyan ka ng isang statement, they will argue about the reality of that statement. And the argument will always be based on thought or logic. Kaya nga, rationalism ang tawag po natin. Kanina, yung naunang nabigay natin, yung empiricism, we talk about senses para magkaroon tayo ng comparison. No? So dito, we talk about senses. Pero pag sinabi natin na rationalism, we talk about reason. Okay? We talk about reason. We talk about logic. So rationalism po ang tamang sagot. Question 10. The source of knowledge that occurs beneath the threshold of consciousness and is often experienced as a sudden flash of insight is known as blank. Revelation, empiricism, intuition, or rationalism. Mga kapitek, yung question number 10 natin ay may keywords kang tatandaan dyan para malaman mo ito. So, threshold of consciousness and sudden flash of insight. Diba? Para bang it rings a bell. Umilaw yung bumbilya. Ayan. So, it's a sudden flash of insight. Ang tawag po natin dito ay intuition. Okay? Intuition. So, insight, a sudden flash of insight, intuition. Okay? Ulitin na naman natin, i-relate natin dito as one of the sources of knowledge. Yung empiricism natin, senses. Yung rationalism natin ay logic or reasoning. You came into that idea, you came into that conclusion because you make use of the logic. You make use of reasoning. Yung empiricism naman, you came up with that idea, you came up with that conclusion because you made use of your senses. Naramdaman mo, nakita mo, nabilang mo, that's empiricism. But if there's a sudden insight na pumasok sa isip natin out of particular argument, then ang tawag natin doon ay intuition. Question 11. John Dewey opined that education is a tripolar process. It involves the interaction between the pupil or the educand, the teacher or the educator, and the blank. A. Educative process. B. Curriculum. C. Social environment. Or D. The school. We are always referring John Dewey to be one of the pragmatists. Or sometimes, ang tawag natin sa kanya is a realist. No? So, naniniwala si John Dewey of the tripolar process. Kung hindi niyo pa narinig yan, this is a very good discussion points, no? Doon sa tripolar process na pinag-uusapan ninyo in some of your prof subjects, no? Ang tripolar process, syempre from the word tripolar, meron siyang tatlong important interactive components. The educand, the educator, and ang pangatlo po ay social environment. Hindi po educative process, hindi curriculum, hindi ang school. But rather, it's the social environment. Kung titingnan naman natin, itong tatlong ito, the A, B, and the D, are all related or within the scope ng social environment. Pinapakita lang natin dito, or in-explain lang natin yung perspective ni John Dewey being a realist, ay naniniwala siya na malaki yung ambag or malaki yung impact, no, ng social environment in terms of how the learner or the learners are being trained or educated throughout their lifetime. Okay? Question number 12. Education is a deliberate process. Which of the following is consistent to this idea? A. The educator is fully aware of the fact that his aim is to develop the personality of the child. B. The educator must understand the nature, the interests, and the capacities or limitations of the child. C. It starts when the child is born and continues up to the last moment of death. Or letter D. A child is a social being and must be educated in such a way that he becomes a useful member of the society. Mga kapitek, ang question number 12 ay binibigyan tayo ng idea by way of looking at the first statement. Paano malalaman ang sagot? Tignan mo yung first statement. Education is a deliberate process. Yung keyword natin ay deliberate. No? Pag sinabi natin na deliberate, intentional. Pag sinabi natin na deliberate, there is a realistic goal. No? Meron kang gustong parang gusto mong sundan, no, itong proseso na yan. So ang tamang sagot natin dito, the most consistent statement would be letter A, no? The educator is fully aware of the fact that his aim is to develop the personality of the child, no? Yan yung most consistent with all the three statements that we have here. Question 13. UNESCO in 1996, no? Learning the Treasure Within was published by UNESCO in 1996, which mentioned the 4 pillars of education for holistic development. Which pillar refers to having the ability to direct and take responsibility for one's own learning, for keeping oneself up to date, and for knowing where to look for knowledge? A. Learning to be. B. Learning to know. C. Learning to live together. Or D. Learning to do. There are 4 pillars according to UNESCO in 1996 document or a paper entitled Learning the Treasure Within. At ito pong A, B, C, and D na yan, these are the 4 pillars. Pero ang tinatanong natin for question number 13 ay mga description of the ability to direct, take responsibility, keeping one's own learning, and keeping oneself up to date. Ang tawag natin dito or this pillar will describe letter B, learning to know, no? Kasi learning to know, bakit? Ability to direct and take responsibility for one's learning, looking for knowledge. So, learning to know ito. No? Yan yung description po niya. Iba po ang to be, to live together, and to do. Let's dig deeper with question number 14. The pillar of learning, which focuses on the application of what learners have learned or known into practices and is closely linked to vocational and technical education and work skills training, is called blank. So kanina, learning to know. Ngayon naman, ang mga keywords natin dito ay tech voc education and work skills training. So yun po lang, alam na alam mo na ito ay question number 14. Ang tamang sagot ay learning to do. To do the practical aspect of the 4 pillars. Kanina, yung learning to know has something to do with the accumulation of knowledge, yung pagbuo ng mga ideas, pag-develop ng mga konsepto. Pero anong mangyayari doon sa konsepto na yun kung hindi ka gamitin? Kailangan, according to the 4 pillars, if there is learning to know, then definitely there should be learning to do. Make use of the learnings that you've had and then make it more practical. No? Make use of them in a more practical manner. Kaya nga dito sa learning to do, ang mga keywords natin ay ang tech voc education and the work skills training. Alright, saan makikita yan sa ating educational landscape? Ngayon, makikita natin that it is already being inculcated in our curriculum by strengthening the tech voc education program, both for the junior high school and in the senior high school. Question 15. The pillar of learning, which focuses on the discovery of true human nature and encounter with the essence of oneself, which goes beyond the psychic apparatus of thoughts and emotions, is blank. So, dalawa na lang pagpipilian natin. Kanina ay ang sagot na natin ay learning to know. The other previous question is the learning to do. So meron pa tayong pagpipilian. Is it learning to be or learning to live together? The correct answer is learning to be. Okay? So ano yung keywords natin? True human nature, essence of oneself, going beyond thoughts and emotions. Ayan. Going beyond the apparatus of thoughts and emotions. It's the learning to be. The essence of oneself. Alright? So yan po. Meron pang isa dyan. Siyempre, learning to live together will have to be related with the ability or the pillar that would allow the learners to collaborate, to cooperate, and make sure that whatever the differences in the perspectives ay kailangan meron pa rin tayong perspective ng being able to live together. Alright? So far, yun lamang po muna dito sa ating video na ito, mga kapitik. Maraming salamat sa inyong panonood. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more relevant Let Review videos. There are more to come that will be provided via the YouTube channel. Kanya nga, good luck po sa inyong lahat, our future LPTs. We would be glad if you can be able to share our link to your friends and para mas marami pa pong matulungan ang aming channel. Maraming salamat mga kapitik!